This is fair use and for educational purposes only because I know Poetic Flakko likes to flag people because he's a loser. So I just wanted to get that out the way.
One of Nolan Well's friends, Warren, did an interview recently where he spoke about the backlash they've been getting since Nolan Well's death and all the allegations. Now, to me, this interview did them no favors, to be honest, because first off, the person they chose to do the interview with is like one of the most despicable, worst human beings probably on planet Earth, which obviously is hyperbole, but he's not too far off. Like, this dude is terrible. Brandon Tatum is not the person you want to do an interview with if you want for us to receive this interview with fair lenses. And if you're really close friends with Nolan and you want the world to believe that,
let's see if Poetic Flacco explains why. You know what I mean? Let's see if he supports his statement with actual facts. Right? Let's see if Poetic can support his statement. Let's see.
you probably shouldn't do an interview with a man who has spent the last couple of weeks disrespecting Nolan's mom, calling her a grifter, a race hustler, all type of names. You probably don't want to do an interview with that man. Now,
you didn't get the context. I'm not gonna pause it a lot. I promise y'all, I'm not gonna pause it a lot because Poetic Flacco, he's another one that's hard to listen to. So y'all bear with me. But once again, he's not giving you the full context because Nolan Well's mother was caught in a lie, claiming that the parents did not contact her. She lied about that. That's probably why Brandon Tatum said something similar to that. But I'm gonna be quiet. Let me be quiet.
yo, Officer Tatum oversold his interview drastically, bruh. Before the interview dropped, he was doing promo runs for the interview, talking about how this interview debunks everything and this interview solves the Nolan Wells mystery and this interview is what people need to watch to hear the truth. So he oversold this and then dramatically and drastically underdelivered.
Got to say something real quick. Benjamin Crump should be ashamed of himself. Al Sharpton should be ashamed of themselves. I'm right here in Mississippi. It's crazy that I had to fly down here to even get this information. They've been lying on these boys. I got evidence, and I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to lay it out for you. It is a shame that that boy Nolan did not get the respect that he deserved. In my opinion, they turned his death into a racial thing, destroying the community. You name it, they did it. And we got evidence that it wasn't just 4 boys with him. We got evidence that they asked Nolan to get back on the boat and he refused to because he grown. We got evidence that the boys reached out to the parents, that Benjamin Crump and them didn't refuse to reach out to these boys. And I've talked to them. I've seen the evidence with my own eyes. I've seen that there was more than just 4 people. There was 3 boats full of kids. I know that they left and they had nothing to do with this. And instead of them saying and standing up for these boys and saying, look, we don't know what happened. We want justice for Nolan. These boys didn't have no involvement. Instead, they want to make it about race. And it is a shame. And I'm so heated, man. I went out to Horn Island. We got all the video. We got the interviews. The boys wanted to talk to me because I'm the only one there to give them a voice because everybody else is fake, fraudulent, looking out for themselves. And it's a shame, man.
Get over yourself, bruh. Yo, you think that you were the only person willing to interview these boys? Man, clearly not. Yo, they could have contacted any media outlet on planet Earth. They could have contacted Fox News. They could have contacted TMZ. They could have contacted anybody on planet Earth and they would have interviewed them. They picked you because you are a black guy. It's really that simple, bruh. All right, you are a black guy that's willing to tap dance and shuck and jive and do what you got to do.
How do you know this? How do you know this? And if your dumb ass, if your fat ass actually watched the interview, you'll see that the boys did not want to talk. Warren finally came out and spoke to Tatum. Then you got the brown skinned brother. I think is what's his name? Start with a T. He came out and sat down with Officer Tatum. So maybe the boys did not want to talk because they were going through a grieving process themselves. You ever thought about that? You ever thought that they were coming to reality about what happened? You just immediately jumped to the conclusion that that they only wanted to sit with Tatum because he's black. How low IQ can you be? This is low IQ behavior. And I thought Poetik Flakko was better than this. I used to be subscribed to him, but I gladly unsubscribed today. And now he has me blocked on X. You know what I'm saying? I gladly unsubscribed today. Because I would listen to Poetik Flakko when it came to like hip hop news and things like that. Now I got to question everything I used to listen to, considering the fact that he's blatantly lying right now.
Right? To cater to the dominant society. That's why they picked you. They didn't pick you because you were the only one willing to interview him, because that's absurd. They picked you because you are willing to do what you need to do, which is tap dance. It's really that simple. You're a black man who can tap dance. Facts. Now, the interview that he promised is not is not the interview we got, like, at all. Like, not one bit, bruh. Nothing about this interview.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He literally interviewed the source. He talked to people that were on the island, people that know Nolan, people that hung out with Nolan. You're just mad because it did not come out the way you wanted it to come out with your fat ass.
Interview is revolutionary. Nothing about this interview is breaking news. So first off, during the interview, the first thing I spotted was the kid Warren, who's the son of the judge, by the way. He starts to say, yo, Nolan Wells is his best friend. That him and Nolan Wells been friends since middle school up to college, and Nolan Wells is his best friend. And then the follow-up question will be a follow-up question that damn near any best friend will be able to answer, and this dude just fumbled it.
Nolan, I could describe Nolan in a million ways. I mean, Nolan was not just a best friend of me, but he was a brother. I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school, and even our freshman year of college. You know, we talked on the phone all the time. We were really close friends. And I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. And Nolan lit up every room he walked in. He always had a smile on his face. He always had something good to say. I've never seen Nolan get in an argument with somebody and say bad things about someone. You know, there's a lot of people that talk crap nowadays, and Nolan was never that person. Sweetest soul ever. And I mean, I had a great relationship with Nolan. I've never got in an argument with Nolan. We were super close, and I've never said or will ever have anything bad to say about Nolan Wells.
Yeah, and you guys, you said you kind of grew up together. Mm-hmm. Did you know his mom, or how was that? Because I saw in the media where it appears that she may have said, at least I saw in part, that she said as if she didn't know any of you guys.
Right. Well, Nolan, a lot of the times, was at like my house and at my buddy's house. We never went to Nolan's house and hung out. I mean, and my friend group's very, very tight knit. I mean, we hang out every day when we're back home from school. In high school, we hung out most weekdays and every day on the weekend. And I mean, we were never at Nolan's house, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But
hold on, bro. Hold on, man. First off, he never asked if you went to Nolan's house. Now, you not going to his house and you've been his best friend since 8th grade, like, that's weird. He asked, have you ever...
That's not weird. That's normal. So you can tell Poetik Flakko was a lame. He was a lame. That's normal. You got a lot of times where the friend come to your spot, you don't go to their spot for whatever reason. For whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And Poetik Flakko is so disingenuous, man, because I had friends that I grew up with to where I couldn't go to their house for whatever reason. I didn't know why, but I didn't care. They were my friends. So I would invite them to my spot, ask my parents if, hey, can such and such come over, and they'll be cool with it. That happens. That happens. But to claim that Warren is on some weird activity because he did not go to Nolan's house, that is stupid. And they're cherry picking at this point. They're cherry picking.
Met his mom. You said you and Nolan Wells have been best friends since middle school. Middle school is 7th grade for some and then 6th grade for others. So let's just say since the 6th grade, right? Because middle school starts at 6th grade for some people. So you've been his friend since 6th grade. And you mean to tell me you never met his mom? How does that make sense?
Because it fucking makes sense. It happens. It happens. So you telling me that every group of friends, every single group of friends that we have, if we known them for a few years, we have to meet their mother to meet their parents? Like we just have to do that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, does that impact the friendship? Last time I checked, I'm friends with you. I'm not friends with your mother. I'm not friends with your father. I hang out with you. So if I just so happen to speak to your mother, see your mother and your father, I'm gonna say, "What's up? How you doing, Mr. Mrs. Such and Such?" But I'm not going to hang out with them. I'm hanging out with you. So yeah, Poetik is an idiot, man.
So his middle school graduation, you never met his mom at the middle school graduation? Oh, okay, like that's weird. All right. You never met his mom at one of his football games that you attended because you're his best friend? All right, that's weird. His mom never dropped him off at your crib? All right, that's weird. You never went to go celebrate his birthday and his mom was there? So Nolan never had a birthday party ever in life. So Nolan's never had no celebration ever in life that you was there to attend. All right, man.
So you can't just say maybe the mother is at fault for this, because the mother is coming out to be very flawed this past week, and she was caught in a lie. So maybe it's the mother you should be asking these questions to. I'm just saying, the mother is not above accountability, fat boy.
That's weird. Nolan, mom never dropped her off to, I don't know, man, to like the fair or something. So y'all been best friends since middle school, as early as maybe 6th grade, and you have not had an interaction with his mom ever? But that's your best friend, man. All right, man. Listen, when you started off like this, bruh, when you started off with this nonsense, what that tells me, it tells me particularly, you just talking. Like, you just yapping. Or you're trying to make y'all seem a tad bit closer than you guys actually are to kind of say, hey, man, that's my best friend, man. Why would I do such a thing? The funny part about it is the family ain't saying you did a goddamn thing. All they're saying is, we just want an independent investigation. We just want to figure out what happened. Right? Now, Brandon Tatum says that this interview had undoubtable evidence that Nolan Wells drowned and that these kids are innocent. But the evidence he provided is absolutely nothing. It's just
That's not what he said. Listen, y'all, I'm probably not gonna finish this video. I just can't with Poetik Flakko, but that's not what Tatum said. That's not what he said. Tatum said that the interviews were going to clear things up. We're going to clear things up from the perspective of the people that were actually there. That's why we watched the interview, because we wanted to hear, because we're logical thinking people. We wanted to hear from the people that were actually there, not fat asses who want to spread narratives.
He said, she said. It's the same nonsense. For example, bro provided a footage of Nolan Wells' friends and Nolan, I guess, hopping on the boat and going to Horn Island together. And he's presenting this footage as exclusive footage that proves the truth. And I'm sitting there like, this dummy, what? Yeah, we know that Nolan went to the Horn Island with them together. Yeah, that's the whole point. What are you talking about? Like, how does this footage prove anything?
He's getting onto the boat.
Because you dumbass. They try to make it seem like, you see, I'll be real with y'all. I think I'm going to stop it here. Because that's all Poetik is doing through the rest of the video. Just lying and making up shit and just grifting. He did that because they made it seem like they took Nolan out to a random island and he was only with 3 other people. That was the narrative going around. So that's why Tatum decided to show the footage of them getting on the boat, so you can see that it's a lot more people out there than just people taking one black guy to a random small island. You dumbass.
And they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one.
Go.
It wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats.
Go.
And some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. But let me show you from the vantage point where I have the video to prove that I'm here where I say I am.
That's why he showed the video.
Here's the angle that you're going to see on the footage. It's just from probably that boat to, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys.
Huh? Is this man slow? Yo, before I go in, can anybody confirm whether or not Officer Tatum has an intellectual disability? Because if he does, like, I don't want to go like too crazy on him, bruh.
He might not, but you do. You fat motherfucker. He literally made it. Like, that's what I say. Like, people pick and choose. And I'm gonna stop it here. I can't with this dude. They pick and choose. They cherry pick things and they spread narratives. This is nasty work. Because Tatum made it clear that the reason why he did that was because people like dumbasses like Poetik Flakko made it seem like it was just 3 random white boys that took Nolan to some abandoned island and killed him. So Brandon Tatum was trying to prove that no, it wasn't like that. It was numerous boats going out and it was numerous people there. It wasn't just Nolan and 3 white boys. That's why Tatum pulled up that video clip. But Poetik Flakko, Willie D, and all the rest of you stupid motherfuckers, y'all are spreading narratives for the sake of doing it because number 1, y'all don't like white people. Number 2, y'all want to get paid. And number 3, y'all are just disingenuous motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But I had enough of this dude, man. Put some chapstick on, nigga.